Jeff.
Yeah. Boogie Magazine brings you Theory Thursday. I'm your host, Mike Ruggiero, and
I'm Jason Thomas. Thanks for coming out.
We bring you Mr. Jimmy Lewis.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to the show, Jimmy.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Very cool. I know that we've known each other a little while.
Mm-hmm.
All three of us, actually. We'll get into a little bit of that. But as you see, guys, we're kind of ripping a little bit of rock and roll blues. And you warmed up?
I think so.
I think I'm kind of warmed up. I was toggling somewhere between I'm always doing minor penta no matter how many jams I go to, no matter who I hang with. Even if it's a major chord, I have to just... It's like, why can't I start just major? But anyhow, the point is that you're here, and you were doing some flying licks, brother. Can you show me one real quick? Just one of the things we were doing in the turnaround or on the 4-chord, just, you know, I think it...
Oh, the little
something
thing? Jimmy Page.
Nice. Yes.
That's the one I always play too much.
I love that. That's great. That's a Jimmy Page like?
It is to me. I mean, it's probably, who knows
Slow
where
it
he got
down
it
a
from.
little bit. What is it?
I think it's on that. The Whole Lot of Love Breaks. What is it? I think at the end of it. Something like that.
Oh yeah, nice.
So it's always a Page lick to me. I don't know.
So how long have you been playing, Jimmy?
Oh boy, 30, coming up on 39 years, I guess.
39 years.
Yeah,
That's a bit.
it's a bit. I started when I was 10.
Okay. Right
I
on.
gotta-
And how old are you now? 29.
I'll be 49 in July.
Wow, right on. You look great for your age, man. Yeah. High five for rock and roll, keeping those lines off your face.
Keeps you young.
High five to Jason on that as well.
Let's do it.
I think Jason's the youngest looking man I know.
No.
But he tries to hide
Consider
that with
my-
the facial hair.
Yeah, well,
So-
facial hair comes off, but yeah, it's still... I got some grays in there, so...
That's what we were talking about last time I saw you, is how well groomed your facial hair is and everything. Is very stylish.
It's an odd thing to talk about, but that's...
It's like the hidden Zappa in there. It's
Yeah,
in there. I see it.
It always... I'm going to put me on the thing. It's always like, I grow this out and it drives my wife crazy. Because I usually go the full beard, but it always ends with the Zappa. No matter what, it always, like, I will have the thing here and the mustache, and then, of course, I have to shave it real fast because she won't kiss me, but...
It doesn't drive her crazy with lust.
No.
Oh.
No, I think that goes... Yeah, that goes... The mustache. She likes the beard, but the big mustache is always a problem.
Does the Zappa grow in there naturally?
It does.
Are you Sicilian?
Yeah, no, actually, no. Not Italian. My wife is, though, so it works that way.
So,
But,
yeah, you know, Jason, thank you for commencing and keeping Jimmy busy. It's not a big deal. I'm sitting here trying to share the feed right now. So, for all of you that are out there watching this, please do us a favor. Do the channel a favor and share it. Jason and I are in negotiations with some other sponsors that we're going to announce a little bit later, maybe next week. Or anyhow, more importantly, you're helping us grow this. So back to Jimmy. Jimmy, let's talk about your favorite guitars or your guitars of choice, because I know you play around town a lot, and
I've been playing acoustic mainly. That's been bread and butter for the last 2, maybe 4 or 5 years. I don't know. So I only own an acoustic guitar right now. I don't even own a. It was made at Taylor, but it's a Taylor, not a Taylor. My friend Steve Olson, we had a mutual friend that passed away, and he built this guitar for me as a tribute. At the time, I didn't even know him. It was back in the '90s. Came to a show, and he just gave it to me at the show.
Okay.
So it's a 20-year-old guitar, but he made it back when you could still do that at Taylor. After hours, you can make a guitar as long as you put a different headstock on it, I believe.
Wow, okay.
Maybe there's a different bridge piece too. I don't remember. But
I have a really close friend, Keith Greenwood. What's up, Keith? He used to work for Taylor as well. He's described some of these intricacies about, you know, off the clock.
The rules.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an option anymore there. But
No, probably
I don't
not.
know.
So that guitar you're talking about, it's like a dreadnought.
It's not a dreadnought. I think the style is called auditorium grand concert.
Grand concert.
So there's a smaller one than the auditorium. It's got a cutaway, the bottom,
okay.
but not the Florentine, more of a soft cutaway.
Okay.
And it had the old Fishman transducer in it, which I just got fixed, and I love that thing.
Do you?
I like it better than the expression system for me, for what I'm doing.
Why?
It has a lot of attack on that when you pluck the strings, and I like that for some of the stuff I'm doing. We'll talk later with what I'm doing with Mike Watson, but for the kind of Aldi Mill Lucia type of stuff, you know.
Okay. It's the instrumentation, like the notch and the, does it have the low, mid, and treble on it?
No, nothing.
It's nothing.
No,
That's
it's
probably
that
why you
old
like it.
where it's just plug in. It's got a preamp in it, but
Does it have a volume
just
at
the
least?
No.
Because some of those usually have a volume.
Yeah, they started putting it up in there, but this doesn't have that. I don't know if that was available at the time. Probably was, but maybe he decided not to cut into the wood or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
So those guts, that guitar, that's your bread and butter. That's paying the bills right now.
That's all. Yeah, that's all I own.
Okay.
I don't even own an electric right now. So.
Yeah, you know, your prerogative. I don't think someone like yourself needs to worry about that per se. I mean, you kind of. I mean, after all, you have an SG in your hand right now.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Beautiful guitar.
in fact, we're gonna make sure you leave with a guitar today.
Oh, great. I was already going to make sure of that. I wasn't going to tell you guys about it.
That's great. That's
But
funny.
I started playing an SG. That's the first electric I ever got. And it was about 1981 or so. And I thought it was a 78 at the time, and I found out later when I sold it was a 71. And,
because of the way they do their serial numbers?
I don't even think I was that hip to that back then. I don't know why I didn't know that. I just didn't look into that stuff back then, I guess.
Yeah.
And I sold it quite a while ago. And I remember people seeing it, like the guy who's the soundman of the Bacchanal a while back. Is that your gum?
Yeah, that's my gum.
Let me grab that for you.
Yeah, I don't think the host probably shouldn't be chewing, so smack away.
I can smack away.
Yes,
Or you can.
you're the
Okay.
guest. You can chew gum and play as much as he wants. In fact, didn't you say it was a Hendrix thing?
Yeah, Hendrix. Yeah, you can hear him even on studio stuff. Him chopping away at his gum. I believe in If 6 Was 9, you can hear it. Hey, once you hear.
Let's just get rid of it. Yeah, thanks. Well, now it's got hair and dust on it.
That's
So this will be for sale later on eBay.
Flavor.
Jimmy Lewis's gum. That's my gum. Anyways.
No one wants that.
Nobody. Actually, I know someone that does want my gum.
Woo!
I don't
You take that however you want.
I know, right? See, that's the part of. Should we do a little plug on Trident White right now?
Yeah, is that the sponsor you're talking about coming up next week?
They pay our dental bills, and they give Mr. Lewis gum to chew while we speak.
But I don't know if we should promote anything that's so racist like that.
Yeah.
Trident White.
I know, right?
We just blew the Trident.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Sorry.
So yes, I mean, judging by some of our conversations off camera, you should see how funny this guy is. We're gonna bring some of that out right now.
Okay.
So speaking of the hilarious topic, what
are you looking at?
What are some of your go-to guitar licks?
My go-to.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hate to say that I have plenty, because in my opinion,
I would hate for you to say that too.
Yeah, but I got to be honest.
Just play a little guitar for us, please.
Okay.
Do you need any of my amazing support?
Yes. Your
Yes?
support is amazing.
Like, just throw a chord under you?
Here, let me show you a lick that this was off the album Beggar's Banquet by the Stones, and when I first heard this riff, I'm sure it's Keith Richards doing it. It's before a song called Prodigal Son, and it's acoustic. I'll take the distortion off there, but I love this one. I must have heard it when I was like 11 years old, and I said I have to learn that. But it's just a kind of deep Delta blues lick, and
That's cool.
I just thought, I mean, you build these licks up through time, and they'll lead to another one and everything. And
That's rad.
I'd say
man.
a standard one is.
Okay, I recognize that one. Do that one slow. How's it go? So you start here. See, I do the same lick, but I start on the high E.
And you bend up.
Right. So that's the difference. That's one of your little cheat codes right there.
I don't know.
Same.
I remember when I was really young, this guy that played guitar said, he was talking to somebody, he was like, really weird how he bends down instead of up. Everybody bends up. And it's probably because my fingers were too weak, you know. I don't know. But I probably bend down more than I do up, except on these two strings, you know. There's no place to go down.
I really like that you use your pinky when you do bends like that. That's really cool. You know, a lot of guitar players, once they get past the 12th fret, they're going, and I'm guilty of it too, but I teach and promote. That's cool. I love seeing guitar players do that live, you know.
I'll tell you a story about the pinky then. So I played for probably 4 years, playing with these 3 fingers, never touched my pinky, never used it. And as I was starting to listen to other guitarists, I realized that I couldn't play these licks if I wasn't employing the pinky.
Sure. So I
figured I've only been playing for like 3 years. I better start throwing the old way away and start now instead of having, you know, what I considered bad habits back then. You know, it's another tool. Why not use it? So I remember it was very hard to, after you get these fingers up to some kind of dexterity, to employ this one, but it was the best thing I ever did was employing the pinky because...
Was there a workout or a lick that you started with?
No, I think it was just scales I was doing at the time, majors and pentatonics, you know.
And then if you play that up an octave, you actually employ the same set of fingers.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Look at that right hand technique, everybody. Do that again for us. Jimmy's got a very parallel. These, you know, some of us will curve the pick for character, and it actually provides a little bit of a scratch. Sometimes it's corrected. Anyhow, one more time, please. It's a very nice percussive thing that's happening there. You know, I'm sure you take it for granted because you know you, and you're the one doing it. But,
right. I've never thought about that.
It has an expression there. So good for you.
Cool.
And try to gum.
And try to gum. We're sorry. Maybe we can edit that out.
That's live, bro.
Yeah.
We are trying to push.
No, I was thinking with some kind of massive gnosis we can.
Oh yeah. You can blur it later on the.
You
YouTube
didn't hear
channel.
that.
Well, cool, rad. Great story on the pinky. I love that. You know, it's great. Songwriting. You've written a lot of songs, man. I'm aware of some of them. So is Jason. We, you know, 25 some odd years, you know, knowing your music and some of our other buddies like David Crono. Hey, bro. You know,
Davey.
Yes, we love David and his songs. But when it comes to songwriting, you know, whether it's what's going through your mind when I'm talking about this, I'm not going to ask anything particular like why or how, but what I think I want to get to is what kind of songs do you like to write?
Lyrically or musically or what?
You tell me. Both.
Well, I don't know if there's any particular kind. I'd like to. I don't want to get stuck in writing the same type of song over and over.
But what if you had to, though? You know what I mean?
If I had to, if there was
do you think you could
there's a
recycle?
monetary reward for doing such a thing?
Yes. Do you, you probably could cook up 10
I
or 20.
think so. I mean, if you can do one that way, you could do as many as you want that way, right?
So, aside from that little, I wouldn't say it was a digression there. It was just kind of like a hypothetical question on top of a question. So, like songwriting, what? Like lately, what was the most recent song?
Lately,
and where did it come from?
Oh well, I've never written. Okay, the band that I've been playing with, which was called the Jimmy Lewis Band for a while. Thank God it's not anymore. It turned to Pusher, and now it's Push, as far as I understand it.
Cool band name.
Yeah, it's Chris Chanelli on bass, Jeff Kelly on drums, Jody Bagley on keyboards.
Have not met him yet.
Yeah, fantastic singer and keyboard player. He's in a band called Mrs. Henry. He's got his own band.
We know them.
Yeah.
We borrowed their... No, wait, we didn't... We borrowed their drum set one night. Anyway, we know those boys.
Yeah, good guys.
What's up, dudes?
I think I only know Daniel Cervantes and Jody in that band.
Great guys.
Really good guys and great players. And actually, this band started out with a guy named Chris Torres playing with us, but he plays with Chris Allen, who's an American Idol guy. He's always on the road and he's not available. So that's how.
Sounds like a fun group you got.
It's a fun group, but we've been going in the studio because Jeff's got a great studio over there at Audio Design, and we've been writing songs, going in there. I've always had my songs written beforehand, like say Super Unloader, and arranged for the most part.
And Super Unloader is a band. You know, I probably should have asked the questions of bands first. We'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get y'all caught up. There's Super Unloader and Push. He's talking about Push right now.
Talking about Push was the most recent thing I've done as far as writing goes. So with this band, we've gone into the studio with basically maybe a couple riffs. We sit there, go over it a few times, and we get a basic arrangement, lay it down.
Are you letting everybody have a turn or a piece with the arrangement there, or you come in there like?
Yeah, everybody puts their input in on the arrangement.
And you like that?
Sure, yeah.
It's a team player vibe.
Especially since these are songs that happen organically in the studio, which is like, I've never done this before. And then, there's actually been a few of these tracks that were in a 10, 11-hour session, start to finish, done.
Wow. Can we hear one of these riffs that turned into one of those situations? Are you able to showcase
Sure,
that?
sure. The one that is the most Super Unloader-like is a song called The Fool.
And this is a Push riff.
Different timing there.
Digging that. That's cool.
And so to go in the studio, get a basic arrangement, and then write the lyrics and the melody in the studio, and then lay it down. I've never done that before, and it's interesting. You kind of got to keep it a lot more basic, because else you're going to spend 5 hours in the studio just learning the song before you record anything. But
that sounds like a great experience.
It's been fun. Yeah.
Right on. What was like the melody of that riff? You want me? Let's actually, if you don't mind, it'd be kind of fun to loop it.
Yeah, please.
Let's go ahead and count me in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I get you. What was that? Can you reach that?
Reach it.
Can you?
Oh yeah.
With your foot?
Let me try.
Watch that cam.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's gonna set that.
See if
loop
I
by
can't
himself.
do this.
This is where
I'm no master looper, that's for sure.
Well, nice, good job. So, what's the melody?
Well, there's only a vocal melody, and I don't even know how the lyrics, but I'll try. From the moment I saw your plastic face, in a rhetoric gone without bass. From the minute you're throwing that's the hand, spinning out with stone demands.
That was not by design.
But it was cool.
It's always an accident going on in this room.
Right.
That was cool. That was
accident.
great. Hey, man, melody was killer. Yeah, I dug that.
Thank you.
I dug that.
Yeah.
That was rad. So I was, as usual, hacking your riff. It would start on B. What's up? Show it to me. Okay. For some reason, under the heat of the moment, I just couldn't. Whatever.
It's a little unusual.
What was it again?
B,
Yeah.
it's B, D, A flat. Yeah, you got it.
Digging.
Do it again.
Huh?
I thought you said do it again.
Oh, no, you, whatever.
That's awesome.
Thanks. That riff's awesome. That's cool. I like that one.
It's one of those 7/8, I guess that is.
That was in 7/8. Yeah,
I
I
believe.
mean, Jeff has a myriad of 7/8 beats in there, but maybe at the end we'll use it or something.
Yeah, sure.
Roll the dice and
Mhm.
so yes, our drummer Jeff by Singular Sound Beat Buddy. Say hi, Jeff. So stupid, but so cool.
He's got
right?
a trash can. in
He's
his
also
kit.
got pink hair today. Well, he had pink hair last week as well.
Yeah.
We are looking for a wig sponsor. What's interesting about the Beat Buddy? Quick segue. When you buy the Beat Buddy, it comes. Remember Mr. Potato Head? So it comes. You can like kind of dress it, make it look a certain way.
Right.
So they give you like a sticker kit, like a prop kit, so you can put the bow tie on them or a hat, a couple different hats. There's like female wigs.
Oh, so that wasn't your idea, dude.
It's now. I mean, subconsciously, I meant to do this because we want Jeff to be his own band member, which he's not. Anyhow.
Do you have any problems with him?
Uh,
I've heard he's had some drug problems, Jeff.
It's really funny that you say that because there's a sobriety control in here, and there's 4 stages. It's like, I know it goes 1 through 4, but I like to say 2 shots, 4 beers, a 5th, and then Uber cab.
Yeah.
So
Uber cab, nice.
Whatever, right? So we have those. You can make him sound like he's partying, and yeah. Okay. So we talked about some songwriting. So let's talk a little bit more about the songwriting, though. I want to also preface this conversation that Jason and I, we've known Jimmy a long time. When we met him, he is still in a band, Super and Loader.
Actually, I was in Bad Mood Zeus.
He
when
was
you
in
first
Bad.
met me.
When we first met you, it was Bad Mood Zeus, then Super and Loader, and then we had told some stories and information about Push. But I want to talk about Super and Loader a little bit.
Okay.
When we had our conversation on Saturday, talking about some of the things I'm fond with melodically, some of the ballads, like if you open up with an A minor or D minor, or this way you sing, when you write songs like that, what are those topics about? Are you talking about heartache? Are you talking about Zappa's underwear? Is it your favorite coffee flavor? Something? Is it serious or is it tongue in cheek?
I don't know that a song being in a minor key or something like that has ever influenced necessarily the lyrics that I've written, but it seems like a lot of that Super Unloader stuff was about heartbreak. Maybe that's because I was, in my early 20s, and maybe that's what was going on or something, but early to late 20s. I say that as if the band didn't continue longer than that. It did, and it has, and it still is a band. In fact, we got a CD we're going to release at Winston's on the 8th of July.
And this is the second Super and Loader CD?
This is the 4th.
The 4th, excuse me.
I believe.
So
See, Super and Loader, the first one goes number 2, Live and Unfashionable, and we put one out from Lestats, was the first acoustic thing we ever did, and then, so this will be the 5th, I guess.
And these CDs are available to the public?
They will be.
Whose will be?
They will be. You ever met They Will Be? They will be on the 8th at Winston's. We're not going to press a lot of CDs because we're not sure we could off them. A lot of kids nowadays don't.
Well, hey, man, you'd be surprised.
I would? Yeah.
I think you would.
Good. We should talk to Chad and Chris about that because they're convinced that it doesn't happen anymore. But
Oh, you mean as far as like purchasing a CD?
Yeah, or
Like
even they probably don't have anything to play them on. Well, I don't know about that, but at least they're cars.
I understand that. When you're trying to get your music out there, me personally, I'm fond of moving it around digitally, and it just turns into a link. Like, hey, listen to my song, whether it comes from YouTube or it's an iTunes link or something like that. I push personally my music like that, but
which I think most people listen to music that way now. But.
You know what I'm really affected by, and it's also somewhat cumbersome too, is like, when you go to a club and you buy vinyl, as much as the vinyl is like the hugest trophy, and it really means a lot. It speaks volumes to me as far as commitment to the act of being a musician. But it's like I try to buy that stuff at the end of the night because I don't want to walk around with it. I think I broke at the soda bar. I broke one of my records because I bought it when I first there, and a few drinks in, I'm like,
a few sodas
in.
Right.
Yeah. But anyhow, back to selling some merchandise, super loader merchandise. I thought another interesting way was to go like thumb drives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And they're small, but those probably have their pros and cons as well. Where you sell a thumb drive for say $10, and hopefully it's a keychain, and then the person that bought it, they secure it somehow on their person. Anyhow, why am I worrying about someone who bought my album or your album and they lose it? I mean, because
you want them to hear the music.
You want them to hear the music.
That's the whole point.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, merchandise and super and loaders. Is there stickers? Is there T-shirts? Who watching us, if they're curious, how can they hear a super and loader song right now?
Oh, Spotify and
Spotify.
Amazon, I believe. Chad would know more about this. I'm not even low tech. I'm almost no tech. So. And
Chad, if you're on here, feel free to put some links on the comments, dude. Jimmy's here. Want to exploit you guys, and that's part of the reason why we do this, is that we want to talk about you and your goals and your dreams. My dreams. Man. It's tell me actually. The dream you had last night, that was a little hard to hear. I'm just kidding. I can't help it sometimes.
It's weird you say that because, as I told you, I was kind of coming off this virus, and I dream crazy. That's the only time I remember it. Yeah. And right when you said that, I'm all, did I talk to him about that? I can't have, because I don't even remember what it was. But
I'm trying to work on my delivery. Like even though if it's a lie or a satire thing, I want you to.
I already told you the secret of comedy.
You did.
Yeah.
What is it?
What?
The secret of comedy.
Tommy.
Yes, good one. And so the joke telling career seems to be at an all-time high.
That's always worked well for me. My stand-up is, one of my trademarks, I think.
Right. Jason, I'm sitting here swimming with this really deep, the deep topic of songwriting and merchandise, toggling a little bit back and forth with Mr. Lewis about these things. As I'm preparing the next question, do you have any thoughts? Do you have anything? Because Jason writes lots of songs. Any parallels?
As far as like how to get your music out there and stuff?
No, I meant more emotionally. Maybe even like progression-wise, bass-wise, guitar-wise.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did my interview before, but I do like, as far as Jimmy writes he's a very eclectic musician. I like most of the stuff that he, everything that he does. He expands a wide range of music, and
I want to hear about the stuff you don't like.
Oh no, I'm saying it's most of it. It's most of it is really really good, and I'm a big fan. Obviously, you're here and everything, but yeah, I think that. You can't really pigeonhole in a song when you're writing a song. It's like usually it comes out of you, and it's like as you're feeling at the time and what you put to it. And I see that a lot with you too. It's like,
I agree.
Start with the genre, basically in the genre of rock, but there's a lot more to it, and I think that you do a really good job of presenting that, and your music. We actually as fans really appreciate that as far as. Having a wider range of musical abilities.
We tried not to. Well, I have at least tried not to stay in any kind of formula, I guess. But it is a trio, and if you want to play a lot of these songs live, I guess you're kind of limited in a trio. But you're also.
I've seen a handful of Super and Loader shows growing up, and whether we want to elaborate right now musically about the diversity of the songs. I would like to touch on, how the equipment has maybe ranged, because you're a strong player, you have a lot to say, you sing your ass off, you play your ass off. You don't really need a lot of effects, but I've seen you play with a lot of effects.
Yeah.
And I guess due to trials and tribulations of rock and roll, things may have happened where you either change your mind or things just get taken from you.
Yeah, and also not having an electric guitar. And, Chad owns, the drummer, and Super Unloader owns one of my old electrics now, and then that's what I'll probably always use when I play with Super Unloader. But, yeah, I just I've used less and less effects, I guess, over the years.
Is there any effect that you? I mean, think about Super Unloader and a 15-song set.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think are besides overdrive? What are the effects that really
a wah
that you
pedal.
miss or like?
I always have to have a wah pedal.
Always
there's certain songs that there is a trademark on, and I wouldn't even play it without a wah pedal.
Okay.
There's a song called which is on the new disc, but if you've been to Super Unloader shows for the last 10 years at least, you've heard this song. It's called Seaplane. Excuse me, this is the riff.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Usually play out with a wah pedal. Excuse me. I can't even play it right now. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with it too. See, it says you don't play much electric guitar, but
that's a wah line.
So yeah, I'll use
like
a wah
heel
on
toe,
that.
like,
So without the wah in there, I usually won't even play that live. I have before, but
is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even when you slow something down, you can't play this one. And of course, there's a million other parts to it.
Percussive and alternate picking from hell.
From hell. Is it from hell?
Well, the technique is.
Yeah. And the effect is pretty hellish.
So Jimmy Lewis played a wah riff with no wah. I have a few wahs in this room. If I would have known that, I would have set one up for you today. So, just so if you guys know, you future guests out there, no wah pedals allowed. I'm just kidding. I'm just
no
kidding.
stairway, no wah pedals.
But you're in stereo. You're in stereo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strum like a G chord, or do a little calm, slow progression. Let's give the audience a little demonstration of the stereo imagery.
Okay.
Just a little. Spread them out a little bit. Slap back in.
Actually, we can play this Super Unloader song. If I can remember it.
Would you ever use that image live? Like if you had my help?
I'm not sure I know what that means. What do you mean?
Well, would you use that sound live? Would you go stereo live and have that? Would you use that sound?
Sure.
You would?
Yeah. Why not? Sounded great to me.
Right on.
Yeah,
good. Just checking, man. Part of the fun today was to hear Mr. Lewis play some effects. And speaking of, turn on that purple pedal. Show our audience some of the. You got sounds like a F-150 horn. Turn the Friedman off real quick.
does sound like somebody's horns out there.
Are you all the way up? Oh, yeah.
Kind of lose that octave. You get too much volume.
Yeah, right? Do that again.
What?
I like when you go. Now, I've heard you demonstrate this amount of speed for as long as I've known you. So, I mean, when you were practicing your scales growing up, were you like sitting on the couch, 12 years old, metronoming it, like really? I practice 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
You?
I mean,
I thought it just happened.
no.
You actually had to.
Guitar never came naturally to me. I started playing when I was 10. I remember my parents got me, I think it was a Hohner. It was an acoustic guitar from Therrell's Music, if you remember Therrell's.
I don't.
Did you grow up in San Diego?
I did. I'm a native.
Okay.
So
yeah. Therrell's was a place over, I mean, it seemed like, well, there was one over in Kearny Mesa. I think it was on Claremont Mesa Boulevard. Can't remember. This had been 1978, and this guitar was $50, I remember, and it was the action was like that far off the strings. And I took part of the deal with my parents was, if you want to play guitar, we'll get you a guitar. And it was that gym, and I had to take lessons there as well. And I thought I was just awful. But I guess, I don't know if the lady who taught was serious or she just thought she could make more money this way. Because it was like 20 kids, you know, and she
like
went to my parents and said, he's got something, he should take private lessons. So I started doing that. But she was teaching me like east side, west side, all around the town. And I wanted to, you know, play some rock or whatever.
How old were you?
I was 10.
You were 10. Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna guess. Were you 10?
I think I did that for a couple of years.
What were you listening to back then?
Oh God, Zeppelin and Aerosmith and
Sure.
Boston, whatever. I mean, the first album I think I got that wasn't like Pinocchio or something was Boston when it came out in
Brad Gillis,
76.
Boston, right? No. Boston's
No, Tom Schultz.
Tom Schultz.
Right.
Love that. Yeah, Brad Gillis is Night Ranger. Sorry.
Right.
Anyhow,
You haven't met one.
so those are some of your heroes then, or your influences.
I don't know if Tom Schultz was ever a hero, but that was just
I like this.
that's what I was hearing at the time, and I was ready to quit guitar after a couple of years. I was just like, I couldn't get it. I was listening to after a couple more years, you know, I was listening to Yes and Zeppelin, all these things I couldn't play, and it wasn't until I heard Black Sabbath with these, you know, I remember one of the first things I learned was Electric Funeral, I think.
Oh God. Another wah riff.
Right. And these were single note kind of riffs that I could learn. You know? And it was music I loved, and that kept me playing. I remember when I was going to quit, I told my mom, I'm going to quit guitar. So, what? No, I've spent too much time on money on lessons. You're going to play 6 more months. And then if you want to quit, you can quit. And luckily, in that time is when I found Sabbath, and I kept going. So,
wow.
And then it took a long time. It wasn't just natural for me to, you know.
So, okay.
I didn't pick it up naturally.
Once that rediscover, you know, you got Sabbath, you're listening and then learning, that's when, and I guess maybe Tony Iommi or Jimmy Page showing you those licks, that box, the minor pentascale, right? That's what got you practicing?
Well, that's another story. So I couldn't figure out, you know, where these licks, you know, what I said there has to be some kind of. I knew the major scale because I'd been taught that in my early lessons, but I hadn't been taught the pentatonic scale. And my friend, who was also a guitarist, Mike Howard, I haven't seen him in years. He had this. It was on the back of a pack of strings, and it said it was Lenny Pogan's Blue Neck. I still remember this. And it had all 5 forms of the pentatonic scale. And he's all, man, this is all that blues we listen to is in these scales, man. Listen to it. And I remember when I first played it, it sounds Chinese, man.
It is.
You know. And well,
it
with the bends and everything, it sounds blues, but it takes a while to get those. What notes sound good bent and what don't.
Right.
But that just opened my world up. Learning the pentatonic scale opened everything up for me.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it was
right.
on a pack of guitar strings. I think I kept that thing for like 10 years. You know.
What?
Lenny Pogan's Blue Neck.
Lenny Pogan's Blue Neck. That is.
See, if there's anybody out there that had the same experience with that.
Dude, write a song.
Yeah.
Called Lenny Pogan's Blue Neck, and so it was like all the positions.
Yeah.
I love all. You know, that's my favorite stuff. In fact, A newer thing that I've been practicing with the minor penta. This has really been helping me a lot with getting my pinky and more of the stretchy stuff. But I'll take that scale and I expand it. I go like this.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So this is kind of getting you more into the
Playing up and down the neck.
yeah. Pretty fun. But to be honest with you, when I'm standing and playing, that's a hard thing to employ because your thumb. It's very physical, but I still like it though. So
Great exercise, and that's definitely one of the early exercises I do, whether it was a major scale or pentatonic, was finding ways to connect those things up the neck. The different, instead of just was
give me an
connecting
example.
them, Well, it's like, I don't know.
Running the octaves. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I love that
kind of thing. And I remember hearing Zappa, who's another one of my favorite guitarists.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying in an interview that he could never play up and down the neck because he always plays, this way up and down, but never like. He's never.
Yeah.
Horizontal.
Yeah.
Horizontal.
Never been that kind of player.
Yeah, trippy, right?
Yeah.
It is cool. Yeah. Now that I think about it, I've seen you do a lot of slides too. Like with, am I right about this? When you're playing.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Those are fun.
I like to do it like a bend and
Oh yeah.
type of thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, I do a lot of that.
Nice, rad. Yeah, great. I love those licks. All that information, especially blending from major to minor. It's so fun. Kind of doing a honky tonk. To the minor.
Totally, yeah.
Anyways.
And then sometimes switching from pick to finger.
Yeah. Oh, give me some. Oh, give me some of that.
You can get that real pop,
So how we looking on time? We doing good?
Doing good.
We got Jimmy Lewis in the house.
Getting bored yet?
We can go as long as we want, man. This is a podcast.
Yeah.
We can go as long as we want.
How you doing? You having fun?
I'm having a great time.
Is there anything in particular that you'd like to tell me?
Well, why don't we ask him? Obviously, you play all over, all over. Do you have any shows coming up anytime soon?
I'm playing tomorrow night, acoustic solo at Lucy's in Ocean Beach.
And that's what I meant by the question. Is there anything in particular you'd like to tell me?
Right.
The main question.
I'm a great promoter, right?
Yeah. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Guys.
Other than that,
So
boy, I'm leaving to England for 2 weeks, and on the 6th or 7th, I believe, of May. So I'm gonna be gone for a little bit. But
by the way, Jimmy got married recently.
I did.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Want to say
you.
hi to Haley? How are
Hey,
you?
Haley. Love you.
Yeah, right on. So England is coming up in a couple weeks, and what's going on with that?
Just me and Haley and her parents. We're gonna go going up to a place called the Lake District. I guess is up northwest, up by the Scottish border, and then going down, stopping in York for a night and a day, and then 5 days in London.
Fun.
Yeah.
Wow, cool, man.
So I've never been to England before.
You probably won't have a guitar the whole time.
I will not.
Wow. Do you find therapy in that? Do some family vacations and you get a nice rest from the commotion of all the gigging and the rehearsing? Because I imagine you.
Yeah, I do.
You play guitar every day, right? Almost.
I should, but yeah, I try to.
Well, from a social media standpoint, it looks like you do.
Right. Okay. If you're a guitar player, you should play every day, in my opinion. Even if you don't want to, sometimes you should just get up.
I agree.
And practice every day. I'm a big, which is something you should practice what you preach too. But that's slacked off over the years. when you're young, you were talking about, did you sit in your room and yeah, I did that. I used to ditch school just to come home and play my guitar, you know.
No, attaboy.
And so it wasn't like a matter. It was never a chore for me. You know, it's what I loved to do. So, and then I had a guitar teacher after the one I told you at Therrell's, a really good guitar teacher. His name was Dan Libertino, who was taking lessons from like Peter Sprague, master class Peter Sprague, and classical with Pepe Romero at UCSD at the time. And I wish I would have applied myself more because he was giving me an incredible education. And I just, you know, I was 13, 14 years old, and you know how that goes. Mm-hmm. But I did enjoy it, and I got a lot from it. You know, the little theory I do know is from him, I'd say.
Yeah.
So,
theories can be interesting for a lot of people. It becomes interpretive, and if you can apply it in your skill set, whether it be improvising or writing songs, I think that's the point.
I think it's a great thing for anybody that's, you know, when I say I'm pretty much self-taught, it's true, except for, you know, the little periods I had with teachers. But it's something I regret. I think you should learn how to read music. You should learn all your theory and all that stuff, because it's just more tools for you. You know, it's to express yourself however you want. It's like having only a finite amount of paints to paint with on your canvas. You know, if you got all the colors, you can do all the mixtures and everything. You can have every color under the rainbow or whatever. But if you know, you're kind of selling yourself short if you don't
at least
learn everything you can out there.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, I agree, man. That was a nice metaphor. I speak in metaphors. For some of you that know that, you know that I try a little too hard, or reach a little too hard. Like,
nobody understands them.
That was too profound, man. Like,
you understand all his metaphors now? You've been around him long enough.
No, I just try to ignore.
Yeah,
ignore the metaphor.
Yeah,
he's whether it's friendship-wise or business partners, he's strictly my logistics man. Yeah.
Whoa! You could cut the tension with a knife on that comment.
Yeah.
Really? Did that sound like a dick comment?
No, I don't know what it means. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't either, so I just went to comedy.
What it means by that.
It's just like theory.
The technical capabilities of doing stuff. That's why.
Yeah, I think it was meant as a compliment. Yeah.
It was a compliment because I'm not very logical.
So obviously I'm kind of a shit disturber because I kind of
Thanks,
created
Jimmy.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right when Jimmy leaves, this is the last show we're
Yeah,
ever doing.
because half this equipment's gonna be thrown against the wall,
Yeah.
right over Mike's head.
The
Hopefully.
laptop. I'm gonna beat Jeff or beat Mike with Jeff's wig. It's gonna be all.
Yeah. So we talked about Super and Loader. We talked about product. Let's talk about Push. You're in the studio for Push. You're recording music and you're gigging that band.
We're gigging as much as we can. We want to start probably doing more like showcases. We haven't done that.
More of a planned
because we're
scenario.
playing certain places like Beaumont, or we were playing this place called the Tin Roof downtown. We got to fill most of the setup with covers, you know. And I'd like to just, now that we have an album of about, I think we had like about 8 songs right now. I think we want to get 10. So, and then we'll put that out, and hopefully, it's almost done.
All 10 songs about orbiting each other with energy, or does it move around a little bit? Like, is there?
It moves around a bit, but I think it's a lot more commercially palatable than, like, say, Super Unloader or something. And it wasn't. I don't know if it was intentionally done that way, but it was like I told you how we recorded and how we wrote it. So the songs tend to be more basic, I guess.
So like less playing. More song oriented.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of playing on it. Yeah, but yeah,
and it's okay. I mean, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I mean, guys like maybe us in particular can play a great song without particularly shredding or burning. Right. You know, and it's still gratifying. It's this to me. Or how about check this look out? This is and they say you got that from Pete Thorne. Thanks. He suggested that the more slop you are coming from the down bend is really where it is coming from. It's a Joe Walsh lick.
Oh, right. So yeah, it doesn't go back down to the A, huh?
I don't know. Joe, I know you're watching. What does it do? Can you?
I think it stays there on the B. Well, that's a straight pentatonic riff, right? I mean, that's
Yeah,
right
right.
in there.
Yeah.
Great Hendrix chord.
Yes. You know what? I had a discussion about that chord yesterday. It's going to sound a little theoretical, and it's okay. But guys, gals, that's a dominant chord. Has a major third in it. E. Dorian sounds so good under this chord. So, you know, the chord's supporting more of a major situation, but you apply that minor third in the scale. Anyhow, just a little
Tidbit.
Nice.
You know that riff that you did, though? What was it?
That's it.
I always think of that as a Hendrix thing, too, because he did a lot of that. Look at that. Wow.
You know, you're known for playing some Hendrix songs around town. I was always really, you know, when you played Freedom.
Oh,
I like the. What I don't know what the hell you sing right there. Freedom or whatever.
Whatever key it's in, I don't remember. But
The
I got that version. The version we did is from Isle of Wight, I think, where he plays it like
Yeah.
that. Because it's not like the record version
Yeah.
so much, but yeah.
Yes.
I don't know
Nice.
what I'm singing there.
Rad. Yeah, that brings back memories, man. At 710, Blind Melons, etc.
All those places, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of gigs, when we had David on our first show, we talked about our Spreckles Theater experience. Remember that a long time ago?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was, I think it was when we formally met.
All right.
Yeah.
Back when we had, I think we had a horn section at the time.
Yeah, you guys hired a horn section. That was rad. I mean, because I think you were sick too. You didn't want to sing.
I was
so
so ill, yeah.
You went back and you hired the horn section to kind of make up. It was rad. It was really.
Oh no, we worked on that. With there's two guys that were always. We had a horn section at the time, more on than off, I think, and it was on the second Super Unloader album on a lot of the tracks. And that was Andy Geib, who's the trombone player for Wise Monkey at the time. I think Jason Whitmore or Robbie Helm, I can't remember, was playing sax. And the guy that was playing trumpet on that gig, man, he was a great player, but he was a Zappa freak, I remember.
So
and I think we did some Zappa that night.
Yeah.
So because Wise Monkey played that day as well.
They played at that show too, right?
Yeah, it was Fusebox, Plump, Superloader, and Wise Monkey. I don't remember the order.
Right.
But my question or observation was since Wise Monkey was there, their horn section played the Superloader set.
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
There
makes
was the
sense.
Wise Monkey horns for sure. On that album. In fact, Andy Geib, who's amazing, he charted all those horns out on number 2. You know, and there's some crazy stuff.
What
on
was
there.
the riff that you were jamming, or one of the riffs? Wasn't there something in... As I'm burping over here, sorry. Was it something in drop D and you in 7/8? Like... Something groovy and funky. I can't do it. We're going to have
Number
to
5?
Yeah. So we had horns on that?
There was. At the end, there's a horn section that goes...
Let's try to loop it. Let's try to loop
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, that part doesn't go along with it.
Oh.
Oh,
okay, whatever.
It's a completely separate part. But there was a trumpet solo over that, but there was no section parts over that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I just thought it'd be fun to... Whatever, we don't have to.
We can still loop it.
You want to still loop it? I think I can tap that in as instead.
Sure.
So that's a quality loop that I laid right there. I guess I can't use these very well either. Hey, you tap it in.
Okay. 3, 4.
Beautiful. Man, it's like a.
Yeah, right.
I'm like.
Oh, it's still pretty ratty, but
It's all right. It's got a good. That's a hard one. So and that's a. It's a D major.
yeah, or minor.
So what? Got a little bit of your stuff in there. It's kind of cool. What was it again? Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have a whammy.
Yeah, I really, really like that. Something about 7. Check this out. Watch this. Right?
Yeah.
Cool jam, man.
Yeah.
That was way cool.
We're about an hour.
Yeah, right? Well, we can conclude this super fun interview with Super Unloader's Jimmy Lewis.
Oh, one thing before we stop.
Yeah.
I'm also doing this thing with Mike Watson,
That's
who
right.
was the guitar player, and Daddy Longlegs was an incredible band that actually got me playing guitar again.
Hi, Mike.
He was also in. Hey, Mike. He was also in Schmaltz, and amazing guitar player, amazing musician.
So he's friends with my buddy
composition.
Casey. So Casey's another guitar player, Schmaltz.
Oh,
I've
I'm
seen
sure.
Schmaltz play, so I've seen you play before, dude.
I remember Daddy Longlegs.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were awesome.
And I remember Daddy Longlegs as well.
Damien. Yeah,
That's like-
amazing band.
Yeah.
Killed one yesterday in my bathroom.
The most poisonous. But anyway, we're doing this thing, dual guitar thing, and we do a lot of Al Di Meola, Paco de Lucia, John McLaughlin, the guitar trio stuff. Yeah. We do it just that good. Anyway,
I promise I know it.
And we also do a lot of Zappa stuff, more of the crazy compositions. So maybe we can come in here again and do that.
For sure. I'm sure gonna get that set up too. We'll set up the whole room for acoustic and see how it goes.
It'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Jimmy, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being on our show.
Really enjoyed it. A lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Man,
Indeed.
you got sweatier palms than me.
Oh, I'm
I didn't
really
know it was
nervous.
possible.
When I knew you were coming over, I was like, "Oh shit, Jason, will you interview him?" You know what I mean? I'm just kidding.
I know.
Do you want to set up?
We're gonna do a little beat, and once again, I'm Mike Ruggiero. This is Boogie Magazine bringing you Theory Thursday. Say goodbye, my man.
See you guys next week.
Adios, amigos.
Oh, I can change it. Want to do something different?
Yeah,
Let's go a little rock on the way out.
we did that already.
You did that. My fault.
Oh, no.